France, the UK and the United States have called on the United Nations to begin airdrops of humanitarian aid to besieged areas in Syria. Convoys have reached the rebel-held town of Thuraya for the first time in 4 years. Much-needed supplies have only reached 2 out of the 19 areas identified by the deadline of June the 19th set by the international community. And the US blames the Assad regime for hindering more deliveries to other parts.
What we have said all along is we want them to support sustained, complete, comprehensive, unimpeded access of humanitarian assistance. They have not met that expectation, consistently have not met that expectation. And to the degree that they have hindered it, limited it, allowed it to get tantalizingly close to people in need and then pull it back or pull parts of it back, clearly it shows at the very least a lack of concern for their own citizens and a willingness to spit in the face of the international community as the international community continues to push for that delivery.
Now, as we mentioned, it was the first delivery of aid to the town of Thuraya since the regime siege began in 2012. The Red Cross convoy carried medical supplies, vaccines and nutritional items, but no food. Hopkins has more on the arrival of those aid convoys from the city of Gaziantep near the Turkish-Syrian border.
This is big news for the people of Thuraya, which has been under siege from regime forces for almost 4 years now. There's been a lack of food, lack of supplies, lack of medicine, and the UN has said that in recent days children there have been in danger of dying from malnutrition. It's also been suffering in other ways. There have been barrel bomb drops on the suburb in the early stages of the Syrian war, and before the fighting actually started, there were about 80,000 people living there. They're now just down to 8,000, hanging in quite grim conditions. And this convoy has been allowed through because Russia says it managed to get the regime to agree to a sort of 48-hour ceasefire in this suburb. But the situation in the rest of the country is still quite desperate as well. The UN says there are millions of people in need of aid. It's been trying to deliver to 1 million of those in May, but just a few days ago said it had only managed to get through to 160,000 because of problems negotiating with the regime and other fighting groups for access to people.